Okay. We are back. We are back better than ever. So, good morning, everybody. Yes, I do have a white shirt on, but did not go to the hotel today. So Friday, every third Friday is a hotel morning. But it's raining, Baruch Hashem, in Eretz Yisrael, and the powers that be doesn't want to drive in the rain. So, Baruch Hashem, it's okay. We're good. Made it to a later minion. Got to learn a bit. It's okay. We're all good. It's an interesting idea. I just saw literally an hour ago that kind of ties into a meor einayim piece that I saw on Monday or Sunday. The rise of the king, the fall of the king, the Yakamel Chadash, and we also have the Yamas Melech Mitzrayim, the Yakamel Chadash, and then Batal Shavasam. There's this idea that when the king went down, new Gzeros, then Hashem listens, Vayeda, they understood Hashem. So this idea where things fall down, rises, things fall, things go back up. Mitzrayim falls, Jews leave. Beis Hamikdash, Zechorban is Gullus. After Gullus, there's a new bias. So there's this dichotomy really of light coming from the darkness, and very strong darkness is an idea that the Shemos quotes Kliyakar, and like Rash quote him too, where the darkest time, that's when the morning comes, the darkest time. And people, right before they die, they wake up for a second, they have this koach right before it's the end. Things really spark up a bit. There's a mitzias in the world. So Kliyakar says this. So the Shemos says this idea that when the Tsar of Mitzrayim, or Paro, got too big for himself, this gaiva, Jews going to leave, what's going to happen, they're going to leave, join the enemies. This caused the downfall. And we know that Paro had tsaras. He wants to bathe in the blood of the Jewish, of the children. And this lowering of Mitzrayim, this lowering of the Tsar of Mitzrayim, the lowering of Paro, leads to the upkeep or the uptick. That's it, the uptick of the acknowledgement of Hashem. Unfortunately, we need to be in the depths, to be like a baby in the womb of the mother, to be totally encapsulated for us to really feel this yush, and that leads us to cry at Hashem. Unfortunately, that's kachaya. This is kind of how it is. It's always in the darkest time that we have to rely on Hashem, even though we should rely on Hashem all the time. But it's really in the darkest time where we feel we have to kind of rise up and daven, and that's when the tefillas go up to Shemayim. I tell we had the Gemara in Brachas this week. You have to go to shul. The tefillas nishma. Hashem hears the tefillas. Well, people could daven anywhere. Hashem's everywhere, but to have the tefillas heard, you have to be in a shul, Malkam Brina, the tefillah, the place with the singing and tefillah. That's where Hashem hears the tefillas. What, daven doesn't count? This is inyan of Hashem hearing the tefillas better. Tefillas go up to Shemayim. You have to go to a good shul, daven with a minyan. To have your tefillas go up to Shemayim, it's not a crazy thing. The best way we have tefillah to go up is when we're davening in a proper place with proper minyan, and the tefillas go up to Shemayim. And this idea that we have to kind of work on ourselves to have the proper kavana, to think of that, to have the Hashem hear our tefillos. Now, so this idea of Mitzrayim based on gaiva, it was based on really base taivos, and really a makam of tumah, makam of erva, this lowest level, that's going to cause the Jewish people to rise up, to recognize Hashem. It's from this depths. This is what the Shem Shmuel is kind of really talking about. Now, meor einayim has a very interesting curveball to this, because we know there's one of the famous Rashis, the Torah, I think, top 10 easily. Melech Chadash, Mamish, they didn't know Yosef, or they knew Yosef, but knew Gzeros. And I was always like, there's no way he didn't know Yosef. Yosef saved the world, and it was only a generation, 2 generations later. Yosef, there's no way people could not know Yosef, but Ke'ilu, they didn't know it, so it was like a Melech Chadash. Okay, either way. But Rashi says, the Gemara says, both things are true. Elu Tirich Mechayim. The meor einayim says both are true. And this idea, we always have this idea, el dirakim chayim. This and this is the truth. So we always think, well, MS of the Torah is to look at both sides. MS Torah is to discuss it. So either way, that's the purpose of Torah. But think about it. No, they can't be both true. You can't say someone died and then, oh no, the king didn't die. There's no way for this. Really think about it. One is the other. Either the guy died or didn't die. So meor einayim takes a step back and says, calm down, chill. Mel Chadash is Hashem. Mel Chadash is Hashem. And when it says the Mel Chadash, and it's actually the truth, because the new king did arise, and there were new Gzeros we're talking about. Well, just like a bar mitzvah boy, when he's 12 years old and 11 months and 29 days, he's not chayiv yet, and really turns bar mitzvah, then he's mechuyev in mitzvos. Same thing here. Yes, Hashem ran the world for 2,000 years before. But when the Jewish people recognized Hashem, when they cried out to Hashem, that's a new mitzios in the malchus of Hashem. Hashem changed. Hashem changed. You apikaris, calm down. I don't think I am. And meor einayim says no. When the people recognize Hashem, that's a new level of Hashem in the world. Whether it's Adnis, whether it's Elokim. But once the people know we have to cry to Hashem, we're in a really rough place, new gezeros from Paro, we have to cry to Hashem. That's a new mitzios in the way Hashem runs the world. And this is what the meor einayim is talking about, that Noakel Chadash is Hashem, and new gezeros is also Hashem, because now there's more expected of the Jewish people. So when we always say, when the Malachim says, Halo Oved Zara, Halo Oved Zara, meor einayim says, no, Jewish people did not do Avodah Zarah. It's just because they were Mitzrayim and they were Munutak, they were separated from Hashem in their Machshava. It's like Avodah Zarah. But Chashom, they did Avodah Zarah. If they did Avodah Zarah, miracles would not have happened for them. So meor einayim is very clear. It says, Yakmel Chadash Mitzrayim is Hashem. This new awareness of Hashem, and that's what came from the falling of Paro, whether Paro's dead or the Paro with new Gzeros. But when Paro came down on them hard, that causes them to recognize Hashem, and that's the new Mel Chadash Mitzrayim. There, we know that this week is Shovavim. Star Shovavim. So those people taking score, actually, I was in Yerushalayim last Shabbos, and the signs, Shovavim. Yeah, what the hell's that? Well, Shovavim is Shemos, very Bob, Shach, Yisrael, Mishpatim. It starts with these, talks about Mitzrayim, coming out of Mitzrayim, the sick place of Mitzrayim, the Erev of Mitzrayim, the tomb of Mitzrayim, and to going to the high level of getting the Torah and the Mishpatim. And this is kind of this process that people are very serious about this. Watching what you eat, watching what you see, looking at yourself. This is kind of really what people focus on. And this is something that we have to look at. Even though it's easy to look at outside, because again, the Medrash says when you see the Malchios Miskoros, we see the Malchios fall from their high levels. Tipal Ragli Shel Mashiach, start to look for the feet of Mashiach. And those people get very excited. Oh my gosh, Maduro fell down. Iran's on their way out. And we see it's this gaiva. There's clips of Maduro singing, daring Trump to go get him. Well, don't don't poke the beast, the lion, whatever you call it. And Iran also months ago threatening Israel. Israel comes after them. And you see this is happening. And some people are looking to this and say, this is Mashiach's coming. It's on our way. Either way, it's definitely a step towards Mashiach. This is huge. Once governments go down from their high levels, kings are taken away, Mashiach comes. That's not just coincidence, but we see that falseness and ego, gaiva, that goes away. It leads to emes, and that's recognizing Hashem. And it's not just looking at the governments themselves. This is looking internally. We have to kind of take these lessons, that this facade that we have, unfortunately, whether it's looking at bad things, being in high levels, worshiping the wrong things, not hoping in Mashiach, hoping for other things, putting faith in other things other than Hashem. This is literally our downfall. Could be our downfall, and this is where we have to kind of use Shovim, Shemos, and look at what's taking place in Mitzrayim, the Gula they had in Mitzrayim from nothing to getting the Torah. That's what we have taken ourselves. We have to kind of think of ourselves. We're coming in the middle of the winter, rough times, cold times, rainy times, that's for sure. But if we just focus our attention and maybe focus towards Mashiach and look at the emes, hopefully we could see Mashiach B'Karov, hopefully the downfall of Iran B'Karov, the last showers of Venezuela. I keep saying Valenzuela, by the way, the picture. Venezuela. And hopefully we'll see the downfall of Iran, and we'll see literally an ally, just like Koresh allows the people to build the base of Migdash. Permission, we'll get into another time. But another ally of like Esther and Mordechai with Koresh, Achashverosh, an ally to get rid of Amalek. Hopefully, Bikarov will see this take place soon. Shabbat Shalom.